there, but I see with all these great Christmas letters here, we need some holiday music as well. Welcome to all of you. Hope you guys had a great Thanksgiving. Fantastic audience right here.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks for being here, everybody. Such a nice Monday morning. Getting right back into it. We're jumping in with a very special guest joining us at the table this morning. Everybody, please welcome Academy Award nominee and the star of the new Star Wars movie Rogue One, Felicity Jones.
How are you? Good to see you too.
Hi.
Good to see you.
Welcome.
Hello. Hi, everyone.
Is it too early for you? We hope it's not too early for you. I know you're in from London.
Oh, I'm slowly waking up. Yeah, I'm definitely a night person, not a morning person. But,
yeah, so are we. It's
I know, exactly.
And you're definitely a Star Wars person you used to watch when you were a kid.
Oh, yes. Yeah, I remember watching it when I was a little girl, and I'd watch it at my cousin's house with my older brother. And I'd be, for some reason, we were really close to the TV watching it, you know, being that age when you're about 7. And we watched it on VHS, and I just remember the opening titles going up the screen.
I knew it had to be VHS because
yeah, exactly. That makes me really old. Yeah.
Well, that makes you old, and the rest of us are all grandparents.
Except Jesse.
Because I remember watching Empire Strikes Back in the theater. Do you all remember your first?
That's my favorite one. It's great.
Yeah, that's mine too. That was my first movie I've ever been to, and my favorite of all of them.
It's brilliant, that one.
Yeah.
I have to say, Force Awakens is now my favorite because I got to introduce my daughter, Harvard, to it just last Christmas. It was really fun.
Yeah, that is. And now we get this. I want to ask you, you've said in the past you wanted to play a superhero, and now you are one.
I know. Oh.
I'm glad that gets a clap.
Why is that important to you?
It was the opportunity to play a kick-ass girl, you know, to be running and punching and sort of, you know, she's a real live wire. She's got real spirit, and it was just a fantastic character to play.
Well, let's see a kick-ass girl in action. Let's take a look.
Destroying an entire planet. They call it the Death Star. We need to capture the plans if there's any hope of destroying it.
We want to help.
All right. How many do I need?
I'll be there for you. The captain said I had to.
Charming.
Of course, there's so much anticipation for this movie. And Felicity, this is how you know you've really made it. You now have your own action figure. How cool is that? Want to check it out?
Thank you very much.
How does it feel to have your own action figure?
Well, it's great. Although recently I was showing my nephew, who's 1.5, and he started pulling the arms off. So it really brings you back down to earth.
Will you explain to us where this movie is in the sort of storyline?
Yeah, so it's the film that leads into the story of A New Hope, which was obviously the first of the trilogy in those 70s films, and we very much wanted to capture that atmosphere and the freshness that those films have.
Yeah. That's exciting. I like that. That's going to give us the backstory, I'm hopeful, on some of the people that we grew up with.
Yeah, all the things we didn't know that we wanted to know. Now, your character's name is Jyn Erso, which I guess you were also called the Tiny Warrior, which I think is fitting. And you were recently in Glamour, by the way, beautiful, beautiful spread there. And you talked about how you were a tomboy growing up. Did you channel some of your inner tomboy to play this character, Jyn?
Oh, absolutely, absolutely. Always kind of like running around in the garden and getting muddy, and yeah, constantly kind of playing outside, and yeah, so it definitely was useful for playing Jyn. It's only now that I'm like learning to wear pretty dresses.
I'm a huge Star Wars fan, so I'll ask you a Star Wars geeky question. In this movie, you're building a rebel army, right? So if you could build any army of any of the 3 characters from any of the Star Wars movies, who would
Okay, good question. Well, come on, it's got to be Chewbacca.
It's a crowd pleaser every time.
I know, come on.
Who doesn't love Chewbacca?
And then I would say Han Solo. He's very precious. And then, why not, Rey? She's got to be part of the team as well.
So did you have any special training?
I did. I actually went into kind of quite intensive kung fu training. So I felt a bit like Karate Kid on a sort of on a daily basis, which was in the mornings, you know, before going onto set, I'd often kind of do a few moves and to get into character. So it was a big part of the preparation.
You killed us all in The Theory of Everything. I love that movie.
Good.
I just want to say congratulations. I didn't get to speak to you personally after it, but it was such a beautiful film. How do you decide on the kinds of roles that you'll take to go from one extreme to the other like this?
I mean, it's just very instinctive. It's what you read and something appeals, and you kind of just have to throw yourself into it. It's like anything, you know, if you overthink it too much, we wouldn't do anything, would we? You kind of have to be impulsive and trust your instincts, basically.
And speaking of movies, you have quite a few coming out. I believe you have 3 other movies that are coming out this year alone, which is pretty incredible, including Inferno with Tom Hanks. And I understand you had a moment with him in a car, in a vehicle?
Yeah, I almost killed Tom Hanks, which is which is I mean, not literally, but you know, I was driving out of this very sharp turn. We were driving in Italy, in Florence, and doing this driving scene, and the streets are so small, and for some reason I was in this huge car. My character kind of had this enormous kind of 4-wheel drive thing, and then I kind of just hit the wall, and on the side that he was sitting in. So it's sort of, and then he was so sweet though, he was so gracious, and he didn't sort of make any fuss at all as I nearly took his life. But, but it was a good start to the shoot.
But no more driving in your next films.
Yeah, I think it's going to be much more kind of flying X-wings.
Thank you for coming. As Amy said, you're on the cover of Glamour right now, all over the world right now. And Rogue One, A Star Wars Story, opens December 16th.
Cannot wait.
Thanks for coming in.